لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another edition of As You Answer the Call. I am Fatima Umaru Hadeja. Glad to be with you once again on the program. Tonight on the program, President Muhammadu Buhari appoints new chairman and board members of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, just as the outgoing NAHCON chairman, Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Mohammed, congratulates the new leadership. Also tonight, we take a look at the Umrah exercise, highlighting the role of NAHCON and the Association of Hajj and Umrah Operators in Nigeria, AHUN. The program will also bring you discussions on the lessons of Hajj and Umrah. That will be in our segment, Making the Hajj. All these and more after the break. Stay with us.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك.
Thanks for being there. We begin the program with the news diary as presented from our studio.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك.
President Muhammadu Buhari has nominated new board members for the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON. This followed the expiration of the regular and extension of tenures of the third board, led by Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Mohammed. The President's decision is in line with NAHCON Act that says, the President shall, after due consultation, appoint persons of proven integrity as chairman and members of the Commission, subject to confirmation by the Senate. With this, the President sent a letter to the Senate seeking confirmation of the board members. The letter containing the list was read by the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawan.
I am pleased to forward for confirmation by the Senate that the listed names of nominees for the positions of chairman and members of the National Hajj Commission.
The list of the new nominees being screened has Zikrullah Olakunle Hassan from Southwest as the new chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON. There are also 3 executive commissioners. They are Abdullahi Maga Jahardawa, Northeast Executive Commissioner of Operation, Inspection and Licensing; Nura Hassan Yakasai, Northwest Executive Commissioner of Policy, Personnel Management and Finance; and Sheikh Momo Suleiman Imonike, South Executive Commissioner of Planning, Research, Statistics, Information and Library Services. Also on the list are 6 part-time members representing each geopolitical zone in Nigeria, as well as representatives from ministries, departments and agencies whose work is relevant to the Hajj exercise. The Senate has referred the request to its Committee on Foreign Affairs to screen the nominees and report back in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the outgoing chairman of the Commission, Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Mohammed, has congratulated the new board and wished members a successful tenure. A statement by NAHCON Head of Public Affairs, Fatima Sanda Usare, says the outgoing chairman has instructed all heads of departments to prepare their handover notes and make the necessary arrangements for smooth transition to the incoming board. He then advised staff of the Commission to support the new board for successful Hajj operation. As part of preparations for the 2020 Hajj exercise, Nigeria and Saudi Arabia have signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU). Nigeria's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Zubairu Dada, signed the MOU on behalf of the country, while the Saudi Arabian Minister for Hajj and Umrah, Dr. Mohammed Saleh bin Tahir Benten, signed for the kingdom. The MOU documents were endorsed at the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah office in Mecca. Speaking at the event, Ambassador Zubairu expressed satisfaction with the handling of Hajj affairs by Saudi authorities, particularly the reception accorded Nigerian pilgrims.
We thank you most sincerely for all the efforts, and we look forward to a very successful Hajj operation from 2020 and beyond.
In his remarks, Dr. Tahir Benton extolled Nigeria for the successful management of the 2019 Hajj operations, reiterated that the Saudi government will continue to assist Nigeria and her people in making subsequent Hajj exercises easier and comfortable. The signing ceremony of the MOU is an annual event during which countries are invited separately to commit to agreements that will shape their participation in the pilgrimage. In the MOU, Nigeria's Hajj quota for 2020 remains 95,000, just as it was in 2019. The minister explains more in an interview.
The bottom line is that we are interested in ensuring that pilgrims are well taken care of in Saudi Arabia, and that their rights and privileges are granted them by the host authorities. This, in essence, is what the agreement is all about.
Alhamdulillah. If you are just tuning in, the program is As You Answer the Call, a public enlightenment presentation on the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON. Up next is the Spotlight. Tonight, we are focusing on the measures put in place by NAHCON to ensure that licensed Hajj and Umrah companies abide by their contractual obligations, particularly during this period of Umrah. What are the expectations and why the interest in what they do and do not do? Stay tuned for the details.
The Umrah season is here, and Nigerians wishing to undertake the journey to perform this important Islamic pilgrimage are doing so in large numbers. But unlike Hajj, the journey is undertaken solely through licensed travel agencies known as tour operators. This will, however, depend on their successful completion of the screening exercise mounted by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, to determine the eligibility of the companies to move people to and from Saudi Arabia for the Umrah.
Once we issue them this license for them to operate legally, we expected them to operate and conduct their activities by complying with the content of the guidelines issued by the Commission, as well as the rules and regulations being issued by the Saudi authority with regard to Umrah.
These guidelines and other requirements make it mandatory for all licensed tour operators to disclose to their respective customers the different categories of packages available for them to choose from.
They shouldn't wait until they arrive the kingdom before they do this. They should know what the content of the package is, what they are to enjoy, the benefit for them. All these will have to be mentioned ab initio before they make payment.
If a package is sold to you, do not buy a dummy. Ask questions. What class of ticket am I traveling in? When am I traveling? What is the name of the airline? What is my destination? Am I landing at Jeddah Airport or at Medina Airport? What hotel am I going to stay in? What star is that hotel? How many are we in the room?
When making plans for the Umrah pilgrimage, prospective pilgrims are expected to make early payments to the licensed tour operators of their choice. This will enable them make adequate arrangements in Nigeria and Saudi Arabia.
Going for Umrah should not be something that they will approach it as if it's a supermarket product, that they will just go there and get it. They should make sure that at least they have a minimum period of 1 month to plan for their journey, so that their travel agents will be able to give them the best.
For prospective Umrah pilgrimage not to fall victims of unlicensed companies, NAHCON has on its website the names of all registered tour operators for pilgrims to cross-check. It is www.nigeriahajcom.gov.ng. At the instance of NAHCON, all travel companies are also required to display their licenses in their offices. Also, as part of NAHCON's guidelines to tour operators, they are required to compel prospective Umrah pilgrims to have guarantors at the point of registration.
You need to have people's record clearly so that if you can't see them, you will be able to trace their guarantors here and they will produce them. Oftentimes, a pilgrim will abscond. And once you call the guarantor and threaten them that you have guaranteed such a person to travel, now that person has absconded. The next thing you would hear is the same person calling you, "Where are you? I'm around."
Pilgrims must also be very careful with luggage handling by refusing to have them checked by proxy.
They shouldn't allow anybody to check in their bag for them. They should carry their bags for checking. Both the check-in luggage and the carry-on luggage should not be released to any stranger. And even on arrival in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they shouldn't allow anybody to carry their bag for them. It's very, very important.
In addition to this, NAHCON warns Umrah pilgrims not to carry into Saudi Arabia any prohibited items such as color nuts. Similarly, the Commission is strengthening measures through collaborative efforts with relevant stakeholders to check the incidences of abscondment or overstaying beyond the period allowed by their visa. This has had negative impact on the image of Nigeria and the businesses of travel agencies. Most importantly, NAHCON is determined to ensure that pilgrims get value for their money. In the event that services are poorly rendered, NAHCON has a way out.
Or once they discover that what they have paid for ab initio is not what is being provided for them in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, immediately they should not wait till they come back to Nigeria. They should call the attention of their tour company to this development, and if it's unable to address it, they should be free to contact the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria for their information and further necessary action.
NAHCON is there to make sure that we don't deceive people, we don't cheat them. NAHCON is there to protect the interest of both the tour operator and the pilgrims, because even as tour operators, NAHCON protects our interests with our hotels, with our partners. If anything goes wrong, if services are not rendered, we are paid back. So when we fail to do the same to the pilgrim, NAHCON will compel us to do it and sanction us in like manner.
With NAHCON making efforts to implement its act, it also welcomes suggestions from the public on how to collectively improve on Hajj and Umrah services.
MashaAllah, you are still watching as you answer the call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj. Our guest tonight is Sheikh Asim Al-Hakim. He takes us through discussions on the lessons of Hajj and Umrah. Let's hear the discussions.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك.
Performing Hajj or Umrah teaches pilgrims a number of lessons that have huge benefits to the pilgrims and humanity in general. Key amongst them are the fear of Allah and unity of the Muslim Ummah. On Making the Hajj tonight, Sheikh Asim Al-Hakim is our guest.
The most important lesson to learn from Hajj is the fear of Allah Azza wa Jalla. At-taqwa. If you read the ayat of Hajj in Surah Al-Baqarah, you will find that Allah has prescribed Hajj so that we may gain taqwa, piety, the fear of Allah Azza wa Jalla.
Unity among the Muslim Ummah is an important lesson embedded in Hajj and Umrah.
Is how to be brother to one another. When you look around these 3 or 4 billion Muslims, you feel the bond of brotherhood. Never ever you will find one pilgrim, those stone broke, to starve or to suffer of starvation, because there are always Muslims around him willing to give him food, willing to give him shelter, willing to come to his aid.
Hajj and Umrah bring forth lessons in humility.
That there is equality among Muslims. You cannot tell a rich man from a poor man. You cannot tell a king from a peasant, because they all wear the same clothes and they all look the same. No turbans, no shoes, nothing. It's only these two pieces of cloth that they put on their bodies. We learn from Hajj how to be humble and not to have any amount of arrogance.
The convergence of pilgrims in one place at the same time symbolizes the Day of Judgment. This is also a lesson for pilgrims.
This huge crowd reminds us of the Day of Judgment, when all people will be in one place. All of human beings in their hundreds of billions will be in one platform.
Being patient is also part of the lessons of Hajj and Umrah.
Doing good deeds is not difficult, but you have to be patient. And patience is what pilgrims learn in these 5 or 6 days in Hajj. Patience when they go from Mina to Arafat, and from Arafat to Muzdalifah, and from Muzdalifah back to Mina. Patience when they go around the Kaaba for Tawaf, or between As-Safa and Al-Marwa for Sa'i. Patience in not rushing things.
Sheikh Asim Al-Hakim urged Muslims to imbibe these lessons and put them into practice at all times.
MashaAllah. Now to our next segment, the quiz. Welcome to the quiz segment. Our question last week was, what is expected of pilgrims after completing Sa'i? The correct answer is trimming or cutting of the hair for men, while women cut a strand of their hair. The winner of last week's quiz is Rabi Adamu from Kebbi State. She provided the answer ahead of others. Rabi Adamu will be contacted on how NAHCON will get a prize across to her. For this week, the question is, mention 3 lessons embedded in Hajj or Umrah. I repeat, mention 3 lessons embedded in Hajj or Umrah. Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing. Welcome back. Now to our stakeholder segment. Tonight, we are focusing on the media as key partners in advancing the cause of Hajj and Umrah.
To the credit of the media, pilgrims and other members of the public get information about Hajj operations quickly and accurately. This important role being played by the media makes it an important stakeholder in Hajj exercise in Nigeria. In appreciation of the impact of this contribution, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, came up with the concept of the National Media Team. Mudassir Bayo Ateyobi was the chairman of the National Media Team for the 2018 Hajj. He gives an insight on the role of the media in Hajj reportage.
It helps coordinate the activities of the media to ensure that the media played dual role. First, as officials of the Hajj exercise, and also secondly, as the eyes of Nigerians at the Hajj exercise. So, by being officials, they were able to see everything at close range. And secondly, by being media men, they were able to interact with pilgrims, see their problems, and call attention for those problems to be solved. There is a difference between reporting for Hajj and ordinary reporting. In reporting for Hajj, it's not an expose reporting. That is, you are going to look for scandals and problems to report. No. You are looking for human interest stories We are also looking for service and welfare stories.
For Nigerian journalists to report Hajj activities professionally, NAHCON developed guidelines that are strictly in line with Nigerian and Saudi rules and regulations governing Hajj operations.
For media and reporting Hajj and Umrah was put together, synthesizing the Nigerian Press Council Code, the Nigerian Code of Ethics for journalists, and also the National Broadcasting Code. Put those two together, and then we interface with the Arab Media Journalist Guideline, as well as the guideline of the Saudi Media Ministry of Information. The whole concept is that every journalist who is going will know within the rules and the guidelines within which to operate, because there are certain things you might want to report about Saudi pilgrims officials, Saudi Hajj officials, that they do not allow. And so we make sure that our journalists are aware of them.
NAHCON, through a workshop, engaged members of the national media team and media officials from states and FCT in order to enhance their capacity.
That will depend upon the selection by the State Pilgrims Welfare Board and the one that are selected by the National Hajj Commission. The essence of the training before it is to ensure that everybody gets familiar with the rules and operate within that rule. And that is going to enhance their proficiency and to also safeguard that they don't fall foul of the Saudi Arabia law.
As part of the measures to ease accreditation process for journalists covering Hajj during the 2019 Hajj, NAHCON Head of Media Division Fatima Mustafa led members of the national media team on a familiarization visit to the Saudi Ministry of Information in Jeddah. They were received by the head of audiovisual department at the ministry, Hamza Al-Gubaisha, who informed them about the measures taken by Saudi government to liberalize information flow. This will entail giving foreign journalists more access to places, particularly those that will educate pilgrims about Hajj rights. Bayo Atoyebi says the partnership between NAHCON and the media has been creating more awareness among pilgrims and the general public. It also addresses the challenges of misinformation.
Before we go, let's take some messages from our viewers.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Our first message tonight was sent in by Alhaja Olawoyin Hanat from Ibadan, Oyo State. The message says, I am happy to hear that NAHCON is proposing plans for Muslims to start visiting Al-Aqsa Mosque in Israel. I also enjoy your program as you answer the call. The second message was from Mohammed Suleiman. It reads, your Hajj savings scheme concept is a welcome development for us, the less privileged. Inshallah, we will one day make it to Hajj. For comments, suggestions and questions, text 0706 346 5454.
That's it on this edition of the program As You Answer the Call. Join us same time next week for another package. You too can send in a message as feedback. Good night and thank you for watching.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك